Alright, before we get started, I have pressed the live button.
Alarm
Devon,
is on.
no pressure. What
What?
episode are we at?
The fuck? What the fuck? Hang on, where's Twitter?
Episode are we
What
at?
did I just retweet? Did you? Can you help me?
Yeah, what'd you retweet?
What did I? That doesn't help.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I retweeted
Episode
you.
7. We've rebooted 9 times.
Holy shit.
9 times, huh?
Your other roommate is like, I can't come in, I don't got a good mic. I'm like, yep, that's why.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll live.
Cause
She can listen to us.
I was gonna say,
Jokes on her, she
yeah,
actually is not allowed in your guys' room.
211.
What?
I was gonna say the last pinned link was 211.
Well, there you go, so 212. You just done basic
Yeah.
math. Good job.
There you go.
I did basic research.
Okay, well, on that note, we're all going to be quiet, and then I'm going to do a proper intro after I make fun of Audrey real quick.
Okay, sounds good.
How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Never Ready Live Link 212. I'm your host, Spencer Presley, and joining me on this momentous of God knows there's not a single damn thing of news to actually talk about that's not Atlus Store related is Dylan and Devon from Dylan and Devon's Cosplay Company Emporium.
Hello.
I was actually thinking, have you guys changed the couple cosplay name account, or is it still all out attack?
No.
Yes, but it's like
Yes, but it's like, I don't really do cosplay anymore at
you
all.
stopped 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was 4 years ago. I'm mostly behind the scenes now. I do props and wig working.
Let's be
mostly.
honest, and I'm going to be a little sexist, so we're off to a good start. Let's all be
Oh.
honest. In cosplay couple accounts, is the boyfriend really the one who's most well known for cosplaying?
In a perfect world, that is mine. Possibly.
Oh yeah, I love
In a perfect world, you and Catherine would have been asexual partners living together as a cosplay account.
I'm gonna
True.
clip that. And I'm
True. Well, good thing is it's in the first 3 minutes of content. So
Exactly. The attention rate is fantastic right now.
yeah, me and Corbin would have just been dudes being dudes.
You would have been in the back and been very proud.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, no, like we said, I haven't done cosplay for 4 years or so. I just do props and wig work now mostly.
Is that
Yeah.
more kind of fun? Because I feel in my head, if obviously getting to wear it is its own kind of rewarding thing, but for cosplay, there is kind of that fun thing of just seeing a project through to completion and being oh cool, it's done.
Yeah, I think me falling back to just doing that has had a better effect on my outlook toward cosplay, I'd say. I definitely look forward to working on projects more than I used to.
You don't have to have double the work.
Yeah, I don't have to actually go out to the things and wear stuff. I just get to look at all the pictures she takes.
Right.
and
Well,
she
you're
sends
also
me
not
later.
considering the work for yourself anymore, too.
Yeah, that's true. That's for some reason I motivate myself better if the work isn't for me.
Oh, here's a really good related cosplay question before we get into intros, because absolutely nobody has any idea who you guys are.
Yeah, we've been out of the
unless-
scene.
Since
for
we were
half
talking
a-
about getting our shots right before this went live, I'm curious.
Mhm.
Once you guys are all vaccinated and stuff, let's just say a convention is starting as soon as next month. When you're all done, when is the most comfortable you guys would feel actually to go to a con?
November or
Yeah.
December.
I would say at least near the 6 month period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't really do summer cons anyway. I'm a white Irish girl that doesn't fucking tan, so
Yeah, you just kind of burn in sunlight.
summer cons are not ideal for me.
Yeah.
Luckily,
Unless you're
we're not
in
really
front of
missing any
No.
big cons, because I feel really a lot of summer stuff is kind of just general conventions, what a Comic-Con would be, or a PAX or something like that, there's nothing kind of big we're missing.
Yeah, I would say so, because I mean, I'm not constantly looking out for con news, But as far as I'm aware, a lot of the big stuff has just been postponed still. Like, obviously, Katsu was canceled for this year. The only other cons that might have a chance, which are the ones in the fall, like Sakura Con or Whole Mat. I wanted to go to Whole Mat last year, but you know.
Holiday Matsuri for those uninitiated.
I was like, I assume this is just a whole convention of nothing but mats on the floor.
Yeah, it's actually a tile carpeting convention we go to in the winter.
Oh man, Carpet Munchers Anonymous would love that place, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, perfect. It's perfect fucking area.
So when you're not munching on carpets and cosplaying, you guys, we'll start with first. So Devon, I don't actually know if you've actually been on an official show before. Maybe like forever ago. I know Dylan has.
Forever ago. I think forever ago, me and Dylan were on together one time.
Yep.
Okay, so that was literally eons ago. I'm sure people have been canceled by then in whatever horrible future I was recording that in. I was like doing an earlier show, like not doing an earlier show. I like found an earlier episode of like SMTN I had done, and it was like, man, I just like, and I still don't really have a filter, but like even 2014 me surprised me with how little of a filter I had. And I was like, oh, thank God I'm not actually that popular. But
yeah, right.
So Devon, for anyone out there who does not know who you are, besides cosplaying, who are you? What is your online kind of persona you would like to let the world know about you in this audio format?
You know, cosplay has a lot of aspects, so it's kind of hard to really have as much of a personality. At least that's one comment I got from someone recently on a video I posted. My entire personality is just cosplay, you know?
That's okay. I literally, I have friends whose entire personality is just being monotone, and I can't actually relate to that at all.
Spencer, I was being sarcastic, and I swear to God, if you're saying I'm being monotone.
No, I actually wasn't talking about you. It was really funny. I was thinking about someone I was just talking to recently, and literally every time he is ever on, I won't say his name, but it'll be very easy to assess it. Someone who I will like ever talk to and bring on like my channel, there's always someone in the comments who'll be like, he sounds really bored to be here, and I always have to reply to the comments and be like, no, that is their normal voice. They're as bored as they sound. That is just them being as like normal as possible. No, I wouldn't really describe your tone as like monotone at all. It's very very you.
Yeah, I'd like to note that like as she was trying to figure out something to say about herself, I'm looking at so much like otome shit all around me right now.
I like a lot of my boys. I have a lot of my boys stuff. I read a lot of stuff about my boys. I cosplay some of my boys. It's the only way for me to get like some kind of release and catharsicism out of it all. No, I mean, I collect stuff too. Like, I mean, the typical thing you would think of someone that's immersed in this kind of culture: figures, limited edition games.
You are
What is the last limited edition you guys bought? I feel like you guys haven't bought an LE in forever.
I actually just got.
Because I know we actually ordered two.
We did
limited
actually
editions.
order two.
We haven't received them yet.
Oh, are we still talking about Coffee Talk?
We've got Coffee Talk coming in.
Actually, that did finally ship out.
Okay.
Yeah. That is finally coming in, but I also ordered No More Heroes, the full collector's edition, with the steelbooks and the interlocking cases from Limited Run.
So No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Okay, so like this just goes to show like how much I've like turned away from Limited Run. Where like I love Suda 51 and I like love steelbooks. Even that like collector's set, like I couldn't justify it. I was like, I'm cool. I'll skip. I'll skip on it.
I had to absolutely get it
I get it, but I think it's also like the other thing of I just don't get playing third-party stuff on Switch just because it's so my exclusives machine. Like, and I know there's no PS4 port of it, but like it's just one of those things that like if No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again can get fucking ported to PS4, surely these can at some point.
It's gonna lose its novelty of having the Joy-Con.
I get it. Now that being said, it's an amazing set. I super get why people would want it. The only thing that stopped me from buying it was literally because they do so much of the stuff I want them to ever get. It also comes to Best Buy. So I'll just be like, oh well, I'll just wait then, because like as you guys like talked about like a little bit with Strictly Limited before, limited run is before this. When was the last limited run thing you guys bought?
I think it was the. Man, it's hard to say. It's been it was the Valhalla collection, I think.
That's what came to my mind, but I couldn't think of anything else.
The Switch one or the Vita one?
It's the Vita one.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, literally since then, it's been, like, almost 3 years now, actually, since that released. How crazy. But, like, their shipping just literally gets worse every year.
Oof.
And, like, what was funny is, like, when COVID, like, hit, they were like, hey, guys, this is why shipping's really bad. And it was really funny. It was like, dude, your shipping was bad before a pandemic. Like, what is going to happen to it now? So, like, it's been really funny of, like, just seeing on the outskirt of things of, like, orders taking, like, years to arrive for like the simplest of things. It's really, really weird. So like everything I've wanted that like even like stuff I thought I would go like super ham on, like Scott Pilgrim, I passed on the collector's edition for. Castlevania, Curse of the Moon 2, I passed on that because that's also going to go to Best Buy. So like all of these big things I'd won, I'm like, I'll grab it eventually. Like even Shantae, like the new one that just came out, I literally like months after it released, I just walked into a Best Buy and it was already like $5 off on sale. So I was like, oh okay. Like there's literally like no kind of demand for it. Like the only situations where like I still jump on it are the Vita stuff, because obviously Vita stuff's not going to retail. And like those other companies, like you're not going to walk into a store and see something like Coffee Talk on like a retail store. Or like basically anyone who's not limited run, you have a pretty good chance of seeing in stores. And also there is just so many of those companies now. It's like, as much as I love physical gaming, like Jesus, like I even look at my stuff of like, I can't believe I lasted up until like the 150th something limited run release where I was in like, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Because like you guys have actually seen like my old room, how bad it was before, of like for me to have reached a limit where I had to stop, it that truly shows how much of a problem there was. So like I expect, probably not within like the next year or two, but within 5 years I expect even like companies like Limited Run to probably crash and burn really hard, or like not stop existing, but probably a lot of the smaller ones dying out. And like because like the way they are now, they do literally multiple games a week, and like I have no idea how people like justify that to themselves.
Like at some point, like that market is just gonna run out. Like you can only,
it's the golden age right now.
You can only limited run like physical digital games like so much.
Well, speaking of things that are physical, and also this is actually a good thing that I have you here though, Devon, because you do a lot of like merchandise selling. Did either of you guys have any store experience with the really terrible, never loved at all by anybody, Atlus West online store that died like 2 years ago?
No.
Are you talking about the store they had online that people could use if they didn't meet the Atlus booth at cons?
Yeah, it was literally an AX dump.
I would say I think we looked on it like once or twice, but none of their good shit. Like their
all the stuff you wanted would just be
only
sold
have
out
at the con.
Or
it was sold out. Like the only reason we were even able to get anything from like the Atlus booth or shop is because we had some friends in California that went there and were nice enough to stand in line again to get us a shirt.
Did you guys ever do AX?
No, we've never been still. And I don't want to go ever.
It's like AX is one of those weird ones of like, I would love to go because AX is a really interesting blend of like, it's not just anime, but like AX I feel has now kind of reached that like Comic-Con spot of like, it's more waiting in line the convention than convention.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Like I've heard it called LineCon before, and that's just not
nothing will outbeat SDCC though. I don't know if you guys have ever been. Like Comic-Con proper is the actual LineCon. That's like you have to wait out. You have to wait before the day even starts for your one item.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's not worth it from like a time perspective for us at all.
Yeah.
Like when we could instead take that time off from our jobs and go to a con where we'll be able to hang out with people, talk with them, and do a bunch of cool shit as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a business versus, vacation thing, I feel like.
That's
You're
why
going
I feel like I will just
in a
always
specific
simp
reason.
for like medium cons. Medium cons are like always the best of like they're not dead, so it feels like just you and a random like loner are there. But it's also like they're big enough for you to like to have those moments of like stumbling into like either new stuff or like people you never would have met.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like that's the biggest draw for cons for us, I'd say.
I think the biggest con that is at my limit is KatsuCon. I went the year of the pandemic, right before they started closing everything down and stuff.
Wait, when was KatsuCon?
KatsuCon happens on Valentine's Day
Oh,
weekend.
wow. That was right before then.
Yeah, that was like
KatsuCon was my first and last con of last year. It was so weird.
That's funny. I always thought like TaioCon was because that was January, but I totally forgot about KatsuCon.
Hilariously, the same thing happened with me in fighting games, actually. My first and last tournament of the COVID year was Frosty Faustings in Illinois. And that was in January.
I at the very least like took away from like that being like my last con and the only one of the entire year I went to was just one of those things of like, man, I'm so glad I went to that because otherwise I would have had no major social events that entire year.
Yeah, true. Yeah, just goddamn.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, the old Atlus store super sucked. It died. No one was really surprised. The shipping was terrible. They never had good merch. Blah blah blah. I thought it was very funny on like the day that Atlus kind of noticed it like turned 35 or whatever. The Atlus Goods Store, which was what the Atlus store basically was called in Japan, decided to rebrand into just the Atlus Store today. And outside of me thinking it was very funny that the Atlus Store before was so bad that like Japan had to like basically Thanos it and be like, okay, we're gonna like make this good now. Like the sad, there's like two parts of me where like there's the sad realistic part of me that's like they're literally just gonna change the name and it's gonna be the same store, and then the other part of me that's like I hope that in the year 2021 and when e-commerce is even more popular than ever now, like I really really hope that they are smart and will finally open up worldwide shipping. Because it's like, they do so much great merch. Like, they always have so much cool exclusive stuff. And the best part about the Atlus Good Shop is that they will also sell merch they've licensed out. So that way, like, if it's even if it's sold by other companies, unless it's like some crazy limited thing, you can basically buy everything Atlus related in that one shop.
That's cool. I was actually gonna bring that up because we actually just ordered the Koromaru plush and pin set from Sanshi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I forgot that, like, you know, someone who actually does like really good Atlus merch exists.
You guys don't have the old Koromaru plush from not the PQ2 but the Persona 3 1 movie collector's edition.
No. I wish we got that.
But actually, I think that was a limited lottery thing for the second part because we do have.
Yeah, you're right. That was 2, not 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing I think we got for the second movie was the Shinji figure.
Yes.
And the chibi figures that came out for it.
Sapporo, yeah. The chibi lottery figures.
Yeah, we got all the lottery like figures for it, but we couldn't ever get our hands on Koromaru.
Yeah.
The only person I think we all know who has one is probably Kat. I've never run into anyone else who has that plush. But that'll be cool, though. I totally forgot about the Sanshi thing. Whenever, like, these merchandise deals get announced, I actually never really get excited because I have a very low threshold for merch, which is probably good for my, like, financial, like, situation. Just because, like, I love figures, I love posters, and, like, I love weird knickknacks and stuff, but
yeah,
I think just because there's such a wave of it all, it's really easy to become, like, overcumbered. Like, there's very few times in my life I've ever looked at like whenever something gets announced in Japan, there's pre-order bonuses. There's like 30 different pre-order bonus items, whether it be clear posters, acrylic standees, pens, magnets. Like I've never like really looked at any situation like that, but I need all of these. I go, where's the steelbook? Okay, no steelbook. I
Yeah.
will order it because it's just one of those things of like, I know that they're never like going to get crazy expensive, and I know for 90% of these items, I'm just gonna forget about it. Like a good example is some European retailer was like, "Hey, we're gonna have Nocturne postcards or whatever." And I'm glad I saw a lot of these comments that kind of mimicked what I felt about it. It's like, while I'd love to get something for free as a pre-order bonus, it's a postcard. I'm gonna forget about it immediately. Like I'm never gonna send it off. It's like getting stickers with a game.
Yeah.
What am I using this? I'm not gonna put them on anything.
Yeah, no, especially on the Japanese side. Like, I'm pretty convinced no one has ever actually used a clear character file for anything ever except to, like, line a trash bin, I swear to God.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Do I need to pull out Gaku?
I don't know where it is. I have a Love Live clear character file, and I don't know why, but for like years I used it as like my sketch drawing holder, and I've just never gotten rid of it. Like I think like my friends went to some like out of state con one day and were like, "Hey, this was like the weebiest piece of trash we found in the dumpster, so take this." And I was like, well, I don't watch K-On, but I guess I'll jump into this, I guess.
That's a slight on K-On. I'll say that right now.
I mean, I literally have nothing to say on K-On just because I've literally never seen it. My only experience with it is a clear character folder I put my sketches in like 20 years ago.
Goddamn. But yeah, no, like, merchandise bad. Unless it's Steelbook, then good.
But you guys actually do a lot, because like, I'm assuming Ami Ami is still your go-to?
Yeah. We've gotten very into like a lot of character goods lately, but it's still mostly...
You mean me?
Wow.
Same bank account, same person, that's all it means.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am the one that does go through hoops to get the extra goods and stuff, though.
She does.
I don't even know how you keep track of it, because like for Japanese releases, I feel like I really got to go out of my way to like find out about this stuff. Like it's very rarely like reported on in the West.
I can tell you, Ami Ami more often than not has something of actual value in with the order.
This is why I follow fan pages.
Oh yeah.
On Instagram and Twitter. Now I can't not sink my money if they announce, this limited edition second concert live of some idol boys from a series that I really love, and then like 7 to 8 different shops have different fucking bonuses, and I have to weed through the ones that I really want.
You always want to go for the body pillow, right? The body pillow is like top tier. You got to get that.
No, I still only have 2 body pillows.
Full size?
Yeah, one is full sized. One is the Amnesia one.
Oh,
from
yeah.
The Amnesia limited edition. And then one is obviously a Chinese knockoff because the body pillow size is weird.
It's Chinese sized for whatever that means. I'll let you figure that out.
True.
Do you have anything like on your pre-order list for like Ami Ami right now where you're like fucking jonesing for it to come? Because like I always love that thing of like, because especially with a lot of like pre-order stuff, for the limited things, it's that like waiting period of like buying it can sometimes be the stressful part, but then there comes that like era of just like, oh god, now I just have to wait for it to get here. And international shipping, even after all these years, makes me so nervous.
You don't know how long we had to wait for our orders from last year to come in.
Oh my god.
For what though?
So the oldest item that finally came in was a Star Platinum figure that was supposed to be my birthday present in like August.
Both of our birthday and Christmas presents were delayed
until January of this year.
Was it January or was it February?
It was between there.
I think it was near the end of January, into February, because right after that I got the invoice for a Bakyu.
That's right.
So we had Kulan altar figure, Star Platinum Figma, Josuke Ninjroid, a Heart 10 Sanrio collab of Color Cross Malice T that had to be separated because it was FDA and was one of the reasons why we couldn't get it in sooner. What else did we get?
You heard that right, everyone. We got a character T.
Shut up. An Idolish 7 Yamato sitting plush doll. I feel like we had one other little figure too, but like
We probably did, but it was
all
too
of
much.
that together, and then the shipping for it was $200.
No way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was the only way
Did
we
it
could
fucking
get
go
it.
freight? What happened?
I guess the only... Okay, so from what I understand, at this point, the only way to get your shit from Ami Ami is to go through DHL if you want
Yes.
it within a week or so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just going to send it with no tracking.
Like,
If it even gets out of
If
customs.
you ever want to know what the equivalent of raw dogging is for buying things online, it's buying something online with international no tracking shipping. That's
Yeah.
like the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done.
Yeah, and like the order itself was like $500 at that point.
no,
So
it was less, because our overall total was $600 with the shipping.
okay, it was like 500. Fucking, I'm throwing numbers out here that are pretty close.
Either way, 200 is... Like, when you finally got it, did it at least, like, come in a package that made you go, Jesus, this was $200?
Yeah, it not only was the packaging like, holy shit, this is $200 worth of crap, of shipping. It came to us like within the week we changed it over.
It came in like 3 to 4 days.
That's why, like, I know, like, they don't do
The
a lot
DHL
for
doesn't mess
everything.
around.
You guys, man, if you ever really want to, like, blow through money fast, Amazon Japan is disgustingly good at shipping. They pay, like, they have, like, the cheapest rates on DHL and will literally get you stuff, like, within 2 days. It's crazy. Because that's what I did for a lot of, like, my import stuff, and even now, like, import stuff is, like, really, really cheap. Something I always, like, tell people is, if you ever buy anything from Asia, if it's used, it's basically new quality for what you would expect in America.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is no, and that doesn't have to just be for games. That can be for figures. That can be for CDs. They just treat their stuff so much better than I've ever seen anything classified
It's
as
true.
used in the West.
Catherine was actually just talking to me about this because they had also ordered off of Auctions Japan through Bai, which even longer for them to get their stuff because Bai didn't have literally any shipping options during this whole thing. But they had gotten stuff that said that they were used, but literally the damage was damage on the casings for the items. Like, not even the item inside itself.
Yeah, like, the worst case scenario I think I've ever gotten is I think I ordered a collector's item once, and it was damaged. It was used and classified as damaged, but said everything inside was working. And what that literally meant was the box that held everything, like the collector's box, had a coffee stain on it that had greened. I don't even know how that happened. So there's like a green coffee circle.
No.
And then everything inside was flawless, literally still sealed.
Yeah, I wish our standards were like that because there are some horror stories of what Americans think.
Oh my god, yeah, like even that one time I messaged you about that Attack on Titan, just because like I never with like until I see it in my hands or like have really good pictures, I assume everything used comes with a disc only and looks like someone with bubblegum spat stickers on it.
Yeah, true.
It's even worse for clothing because like I have a Depop account to see if I can find just something on the cheap that I need for my stupid
Okay, I have
spontaneous
no idea what that
thing.
is, by the way. What is Depop?
Depop, it's an app. It's like a
It's a
resale
reseller app.
It's mostly for
What is
clothing.
more sketch, Facebook Marketplace or Depop?
Facebook Marketplace.
Marketplace. But
You'll
like,
sometimes get deals on Facebook, but yeah, usually Facebook I go to laugh or be horrified for.
Yes.
people have posted like clothes on there, obviously for outrageous prices, trying to pass things off as designer, and then there's stuff that are that's posted on there that have stains, and they're like, you can get the stains out. I'm like, why don't you get them out
Yeah, bitch,
before
get
you
the
try and
stains
sell
out.
it?
I had speaking of like weird horrifying prices, I mentioned to you a little earlier how some prices are going horrifyingly up for Vita stuff, Devin. I had a friend, he literally told me, I'm just looking for Tales of Hearts R. Tales of Hearts R, I always saw for like 20 or $30 in the bargain bin of like everywhere. Like that game was not a like OMG gotta buy it thing.
Nope.
Within the last 3 months, apparently, it's now averaging at about $150.
Oh my god.
Do
And
we
like,
No, we do not.
Fuck.
and like,
No, I wanted to
really,
sell one.
it's really weird because it's like, we're now at that era where it's not just the good stuff is expensive. It's anything you'd want is expensive. And that's not like a slight against Tales of Hearts R. Because like I even found it recently, like the Nonary games, like 999 and Virtue's Last Reward,
wow.
that is like $100 now.
Hey, we got that.
Yeah, we
And
can
zero
sell
times
that.
limit. We're not selling them.
See,
I
but
haven't played them. We're
the
not
funny
selling
thing
them.
is, it's literally like it's always like just the Vita ones. Like it's very rare that I'll find
Yeah.
stuff like PS4 that's rare. And whenever stuff that's rare in PS4, I find it's like the weirdest stuff. Like you know how that new game by Joseph Ferris came out called It Takes Two, like the relationship game. So that guy's last game. He also made Brothers. Brothers, very old.
Yeah.
Brothers is like still dirt cheap. You can get it brand new for like $20. His game he did before this though, called A Way Out, about like the two prisoners, that goes for like hundreds of dollars now, and that was a EA game.
I'm gonna blame
I was
VTubers
gonna say,
for that
what's
one.
the yeah.
Oh,
Because
really?
a bunch of VTubers actually started playing that in like
That
like
would make sense. That's like
duo
when I
collab.
That's like when I found out Apex got popular again, and I literally couldn't find out why until people were like, oh, it's because like all the VTubers discovered it. I'm like, what? It's been here for years.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
VTubers started playing that too.
Like literally, I found out a really interesting story. Like I don't know if this is like official yet, but I had a friend who works at Panic Button. And Panic Button did the port for Apex on Switch. And that port got announced forever ago, and then just went quiet forever. So EA wanted to cancel it because they were like, it's really hard. They had to, basically, the interesting thing about Apex, it's the only game that runs on the Source engine on Switch. So, like, remember, the only thing Source is really known for on consoles is, like, Payday and all the Half-Life games. Because, like, that's all that it runs on.
Yeah.
And so they were like, it's not worth it, don't do it. And then literally because of the whole VTuber boom, they were like, put it on Switch. Switch is really popular in Asia. Now we can put this butt-ugly version of the game out there.
Yeah, true. God damn it.
So it's like,
That sounds about right.
Trends like that are interesting, but I also question things at the same time.
Well, like, remember, like, even, like, almost, like, 10 years ago, probably not 10 years ago, but, like, it was, like, 5 years ago where, like, Skate 4 got trending because PewDiePie was playing Skate 3.
God.
Like, all it takes is, like, one popular person, like, even, like, going back to PewDiePie, like, literally PewDiePie going and playing Minecraft made Minecraft popular again.
Yeah. That's another thing that, like, the VTubers really, like, blew up to as well. They're also super into it and have their own servers and everything, and they all interact.
Influencers are a thing, and it's not a game. Like,
yeah, it's like we make fun of influencers constantly because
When are you guys going to be influencers? I need this to happen.
I'm gonna become an influencer once I take a major tournament.
I guess.
Yep, that's my plan.
Become the #1 Jump Force VTuber.
Fuck that.
They just released JoJo characters.
Is a JoJo character?
Yeah, they got DiGiorno pizzas
Yeah.
in the game
Yeah,
now.
he's a JoJo.
Yeah, he's a
They got DiGiorno pizza
DiGiorno pizza.
and his stand fucking Rising Crust.
Stop. I don't know, Spencer. What do you think it would take for me to be an influencer?
Honestly, I'm a little now, especially now that I've seen your guys' setup, I'm a little shocked you have not at least dabbled or fucked with VTubing at the very least, because I feel like you could do super lazy VTubing where at the very least you just have like a static image of what you would look like, and even if you don't want to have like a whole rig setup, you could just play like a Otome game and then just like read it with everybody.
Okay, but having a setup is good and all, but obviously influencers have something that set them apart from just that. I really don't think I have that kind of personality to have
You
You
an
give
audience
yourself
who-
way too much slack. You need to see how little personality some of these people have who are influencers. It's amazing.
True. Like, you can just sit and read everyone otome, like, love stories and stuff at night.
Joe Zija is already starting to do that.
Well, you
And
got
I'm a
beat to
part
the
of
punch.
his fan, like, audience, so...
You could also do like that thing of like the like most out there thing possible that like people wouldn't expect you would be into. Like what I love is like when people will like find out like I'm very into like FPSs, even though like how much I play like RPGs and stuff. Or although honestly, I think actually I get more surprised through my visual novel stuff than anything, just because like I feel like people who are I'm someone like people who play visual novels don't think of themselves as playing games. They look at themselves as no, I play visual novels. Like they're not like they don't really like count that in as like it's a game.
Mm.
Yeah, that's true. I can
And
definitely
Fortnite.
see.
I mean, it's because it's so reading and story, like...
Yeah, it's a book with bigger
Oriented.
pictures.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't
most of your Otome games are on a system you can't natively stream on, so that probably makes it hard.
We do have an adapter. And
Yeah.
I have a PSTV.
An adapter?
Yeah, we actually know the workaround for that.
Yeah.
What's the adapter?
You know, remember we did have a YouTube channel for a while, and we recorded,
Oh,
the
you guys, I bet, have not looked what a Vita TV goes for.
Probably.
We have not,
No.
because we got ours for like,
Like-
30 at Best Buy or
Right.
something
Well,
on clearance.
when we heard about the whole we're not making anymore, these are gonna go quick, and I think we were trying to help some friends into looking for them, and they already went up to 100 back then.
That's
I can't
like
even-
the one thing I always get asked about. Of like people ask me all the time, like, Spencer, why do you not have a Vita TV? Because I have like everything else for the system. I have multiple systems, and people are like, why do you not have this? And I'm like, that like its portability is the reason I love its system. Like, no offense, most Vita games are not going to look good blown up on a TV that are all designed for 540p.
I can say that, yes. Either
I was about to say.
they get blown up, and or there is a black trim around it. So
Yeah, it'll lock the aspect ratio.
Uh-huh.
Though I will say, on a lot of visual novels, you
What?
don't have to worry about that too much.
What do you mean?
It's not gonna look awful if it's just a ping upside.
That's true. Also, I'm just still a sucker of like, because without
Now?
jailbreaking the system, it has a ton of games that are just locked from being playable on it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's just such a stupid thing of like, I mean, I get it because like that's just one of the ways it was made. So the cheapest right now, if you wanted a white PSTV on eBay, I'm seeing it around like $200.
Wow.
I didn't even know they made white ones.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was. a
Oh
white
my
one.
god, guys! Like in Japan, they made a bajillion special editions. There's a Danganronpa.
Oh yeah.
There's like a
makes sense.
Danganronpa PSTV. There's a Yakuza 0 PSTV. There's a Final Fantasy 14 PSTV. There's tons.
Like I knew Japan always had like a bunch of different like versions of shit like that. Like with the Vitas, they had like all sorts of
Japan
different
is always
colors.
pimping stuff out. I
Um,
thought you meant like American, like region side release white.
No,
Yeah.
we literally only we only ever got black.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about American release only. Because fuck the
You're
Japanese.
patriotic, obviously.
Yeah, I'm a hyper nationalist for America. Clearly,
Well, when you're not
and I'll
watching
never-
when you're not watching the Globalist on Infowars, we haven't even like 40 minutes into this. We haven't even introed you, Dylan. So, Dylan, I'm gonna start this as your intro question.
yeah.
Sega, in their most Sega of ways,
Oh,
has
God.
trademarked Virtual Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. And I just need your opinion on this, because for me, when I heard
Okay.
that news, as someone who actually loves Virtual Fighter, I immediately just went, this sadly shows how much of a cheap, broke-ass company this is, that they have to port this decade-old game to current systems. and the most they could do is just slap a new name, and it'll probably not even have like new characters. And I was like, man, I want to be excited for this, but I literally feel like, do you remember when they released Puyo Puyo Tetris, and then they took out the Tetris and called it Puyo Puyo Champions, which was literally called
Yeah.
Puyo Puyo Esports? I feel like
Yeah.
this is going to be the Puyo Puyo Esports of Virtual Fighter games.
Yeah, I totally agree with that aspect. I think there is a balance patch for it confirmed, which fucking Christ, I'd hope so. But
Well, also, you gotta imagine though, like, if who's making this? Because no one who worked on
Yeah.
VF works at Sega anymore. Like, is the
True.
fucking janitor like doing balance patches? Like, who's working on this thing?
yeah, it's the fucking janitor from 2007 patching the son of a bitch in. And like the best news about this is we finally have a version of the game that'll be on Steam that's not locked to a fucking Yakuza game.
I was literally just about to be like, I mean, you can play it on Yakuza, I guess. There's that.
It's already in Yakuza.
Why
That's how you get
saying
this.
it?
That's how you get it.
Wait,
To
really?
be fair though, I bet you they're gonna be this fucking cheap because so if most people like you two are both Yakuza fans. I don't know how much you pay attention to this. You guys know that all the mini games in Yakuza are just in Unity like emulators, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I bet you they're literally just going to take those Unity emulators and just put them into like that's the game. It's going to have that little Unity splash screen at the beginning.
I would not be surprised one bit. Like, there's no reason for them not to. It works like 100% fine directly out of Yakuza. So
I mean, for me, it's like one of those things of like you guys literally made an engine for this game. Because remember, Virtual Fighter 5 was like a PS3 launch game.
yep. And it stayed there and died.
I just, at the very least, I at least thought they could just call it like Virtual Fighter. I think just literally adding another subtitle to VF5. It's like, I remember when Final Showdown got announced at like EVO or something, and I was like, whoa, this game's old. And that was 10 years ago.
Yep. That was like the first balance patch for 5 originally. But even then it was like old as shit, and like maybe 30 people cared about it. And now I think only 20 people care about this new update because it's just been that long and player retention is a thing. But yeah, no, it's completely ridiculous. Like, if there's so much that needs to be done to the game to actually spark a real interest in it, that they should have probably just like developed a new game.
But remember, they can't because they're broke, and the only games they put money into is Persona or Yakuza.
True.
Imagine, like, literally, because
The
Devin,
only
Devin,
games
you
that
would
matter.
probably say, I feel like nothing against you, Dylan. Devin, you're probably the more Yakuza fan out of the two of you, right?
I say I have way more enthusiasm. Have I maintained my attention span to go through it more than him? Not at the moment, but
No,
Well, you're
I don't-
going through Dead Souls. You're getting that Dead Souls Platinum, as a real gamer would.
yeah, of course, Dead Souls, the copy of the game that I totally have.
no.
And the Steelbook. Don't forget the Steelbook version of it.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say, no, my 2020 was actually mostly spent binging Yakuza up to
Yeah,
the release of 7.
He binged Yakuza and I binged Sailor Moon, so
That's hey man, Sailor Moon's a good thing to binge. Like I went on a
True.
weird like binge of like the most low effort binge possible for Sailor Moon. I found I'm very late to the party. I found the YouTube account Sailor Moon Says, which just uploads random clips with zero context of Sailor Moon, and it's like the best thing ever.
Yes. Oh yeah, that one's good.
So wait, is that your only exposure to
Oh no,
Sailor
like I've seen the entire show, like everything. Like I just mean like recently, because like both of us are really excited for the movie, but much like Evangelion, it's like, okay, well, we're excited for the movie, but we have no idea when we can legally ever see it. Like literally at this point, I bet that I will be able to go to Japan and see Evangelion's final movie in theaters before it actually gets localized in the West, which
Yeah.
is very sad.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, definitely. But yeah, that was a good intro to me. I think that really explained everything I'm about.
You are the
Sega.
Virtual Fighter man when you're not playing Virtual Fighter. You're playing, what's that? Oh my god, why am I forgetting? I'm gonna remember it, but I can only remember it was developed by Akira. It was like an April Fool's fighting game.
Arika, it's not Akira, it's Arika.
Arika, my
fighting
bad.
EX Layer.
Yes, you're #1 fighting EX Layer fan when you're not playing Virtual Fighter 5.
That's very true. I am a man of Terry Bogard for whatever game he's in. Jesus Christ. Man, speaking of games that I wish did actually really well, but just didn't.
Womp womp.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm resident fighting game man and professional Atlus bully, I think is the best way to phrase my stance with the community at this point.
Actually, anytime I see you on socials, you're always picking a fight with someone. So it's more like
Let me tell you about these goddamn globalists.
these goddamn.
I like
man.
I don't know why, or this might just be because of Iron Revenant and Demicro in the chat. I had a weird thought today of real quick. What did you guys think when you saw Pac-Man 99 got announced?
I did not give a single fuck.
I don't play that.
No, that's okay. So like literally, normally I'd be in the same camp as you guys, but I signed up for a 7-day trial to play with Mary's family some Switch because I sold them my old Switch because I bought that new like all red one, and literally Switches hold incredible value, and even selling it to fam, I was like, okay, pay me $299 because they're all going for like $350. So like I made back everything I bought on my original Switch, but what I thought was so funny was they wanted to try online with Smash Brothers. Oh my god, that was absolutely terrible. But we both signed up for the free trial. And it was like, okay, no harm, no foul, whatever. This way I won't have to pay any money for Nintendo's terrible online. But I literally was 5 minutes late from canceling my week trial. So I got signed up for a month, which is like, it was $4, but also paying Nintendo a penny for their terrible online is terrible. And because I'm still a member for like another week or two, I'm like, oh, that's like the perfect amount of time to try Pac-Man 99 because I like Pac-Man, but I know I'll be bored of this in like a week. But it got me thinking of like something unironically because of everyone talking about all the different 99 clones. I was like, I know people meme on it a lot, but I unironically think if Atlus wanted to be really cool and like get a bunch of old man points, I think if they did Jack Bros 99, it would be very easy and really awesome. Because think of it, it's literally a twin stick shooter that can just go on forever. And just the more enemies you kill, it sends over to the other people's screens. Because it's just a pixelated 2D, never-ending, like, haul shooter. And it's like, that would be so easy, probably be so dirt cheap, and, like, would just be one of those funny things of just, like, watch that, like, actually be a thing, like, have it that, like, people would lose their shit over.
So we're gonna monkey pause this, but it can only be developed for VR in the red and black vector style.
Well, that's like the funny thing is like Virtual Boy games, if you like do because they have a pretty good emulator now, Virtual Boy games actually look really nice as just clean red and black pixels. So like the VR thing aside or whatever, like I mean Nintendo would monkey paw monkey paw this. Like it would be only in Labo VR. You can only play it in Labo VR.
Oh, no.
Like you know your Nintendo peripheral's bad when even Scott the Woz has forgotten about it. Like that's how you know it's really bad.
He didn't even bring it up in like the 4-year review, did he?
Of course, why should he? It's like literally cardboard. We all forgot about it.
Yeah,
he did. Didn't he do an actual episode on it?
He did when it came out. Yeah,
not the review, like looking back thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nintendo forgot about it, so why should he bring it back up? But yeah, no, like that's exactly how we get a Jack Bros 99.
Mm-hmm.
The icing on the cake would be it's a limited like 3-month release.
Yeah, for the 35th anniversary of the Virtual Boy or some shit.
Yep.
And that'd be the only way they celebrate. No deals, no games, no Hotel Mario, no Wario Land or tennis or anything. It would just be just that.
Yeah.
So, other question for both of you guys. What have you guys been playing? Mainly, I already know what Dylan, I know what you've been playing, which you're still playing Dragon Age, right?
Huh. You mean me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, hold on. I thought Dylan, so you're not the one playing Dragon Age?
What? Fuck no.
Excuse me?
You know what? I bet I know what the problem is. Don't you guys, aren't you guys, sharing the same Twitter image?
Yeah,
Yes.
That
we
must
are.
be it. I was like, Dylan, why are you playing Dragon? I was like, this is what I want to get into for the longer conversation. Okay, no then. So Devin, explain to me what brought on your Dragon Age kick, because when I saw that, I was like, what year am I in? This game is like 7 years old. Who's playing
You're in
Dragon Age
2014,
Inquisition?
Spencer.
Yeah, Devin's been fucking really like bringing us back to the past lately because of all the shit that's been going on with like BioWare in general. You have just been on a fucking tirade.
When is the
I'm
Anthem
almost
marathon?
fucking
Devin, when's
it's
the
almost
Anthem
like
marathon?
I'm gagging on it and I'm making a really awful cringy face and crying at the same time. That's what
Professional
they're doing
ahegao.
There's even a thread.
No.
It's perfect. This is your pinned tweet. Like, you've already got the history records ready for this.
Good lord. But yeah, no, she's been going through Dragon Age. I've been playing fucking Xenoblade mostly is what I've been trying to sink my teeth into.
I blame Steam sales as to why I'm back in that hole.
Well, I mean, it's like now on Steam for the first time like ever, right? Because wasn't it always on Origin until like a year ago?
Yeah.
I guess.
That
I don't
was-
know.
I think that was it, yeah.
But like Inquisition with all the DLC was only $10. How could I not? It
Like,
was a
also,
steal.
to be fair,
I
nothing
over 100
against
hours already in
Dragon
that
Age
game.
Inquisition. Like, it's probably like the second best Dragon Age game in the whole series. But like, what I find is so funny about it is like, I remember it mostly, no joke, for just being that game that won Game of the Year, because it was either you gave it to that or whatever fucking Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor.
I think that was, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
I do think they were a little spoiled on getting that. Playing back now, like, it's still fine, but like obviously they could have done more with it. The area's too big, stuff's redundant, and like in hindsight, the entire game is just, if you aren't doing that stuff, it's very short and kind of padded. It's kind of like an intermission, honestly. And you'd think 2 was an intermission already. So
Are you at any level excited about the new one? Because for me, even taking the Anthem baggage and Mass Effect Andromeda baggage out of the whole thing, I'm like, because like everything coming out about that has been like, okay, BioWare's been on an absolute dumpster fire for the last 4 years, and like the best piece of news we've gotten about the new Dragon Age was they just now took off the multiplayer aspect. I'm like, that's supposed to make me feel better? You're now taking that off?
okay, so the fucking nerd inside of me that is invested in the world and the lore really is hoping for this next entry, and especially as someone that understands and kind of sympathizes with Solus, because Patrick Weeks is a really good character writer. I'm hoping for this game to be at least on the same level of Inquisition. But I have been keeping an eye on some stuff, like the fact that like they literally rebooted the concept once already for this next entry.
Yep.
And the original like creator of the series left. That would be David Geider. So I mean, things aren't looking too hot, but you know, there's just a small little coal inside my heart that's radiating some kind of
Please God,
miserable gas that's like, please let this be okay.
please God, let's not fuck this one up.
But then, like, on the other, like, horrifying end of things, especially because you're a Mass Effect fan, I know we talked, like, a little bit before about the collection, and in all honesty, that collection is probably going to destroy next month. Like, that collection, even at $60 with all the DLC, unless that thing just comes out incredibly broken, and the only reason I think it's not, and this is actually a really smart thing, like, it's half lazy, but really it is smart. The fact that they've kept it all in Unreal Engine 3 is actually really smart of them. They probably could have tried bringing it into UE4. Thank God they didn't do Frostbite. But that probably just made the whole process like easier for them. But at the same point, it's like even just 3 of those games with $60 is already a good deal. But like all of those DLCs and all of those characters and just like, if I get to hear... Also, because the big one for me, I've played Dragon Age. I've played all through Dragon Age. I've never touched a second of Mass Effect after
Ooh.
all of these years. And I'm like,
Um,
I know that game's gonna get discounted eventually, so like I can't wait because like I didn't ever play Dragon Age until I picked up the expansion plus the full game bundle for like $20 on some random Kmart Black Friday. So like I'm ready to just like pick up the Mass Effect trilogy for like $30 one day and just like dive deep into it.
so I will definitely say that as a whole, I think I'm definitely more of a Mass Effect fan.
I figured you'd say that.
In comparison, I love Dragon Age Origins specifically. That game is insanely good.
Origins is on my top.
Yeah, but this like comparing both series and the sum of all their parts, I think Mass Effect is the better series. So have a good time when that comes out and you get to it. I'm personally pretty excited to experience the games again.
Expect to cry like a bitch.
But
No,
but
I
no,
don't-
like the other
You
like
cried.
interesting part of the question
I
of
know
is
you cried with me.
if you're willing to get, or not even to get, to give BioWare a chance on new Dragon Age, when you saw that like announcement last year for new Mass Effect, like for me that was an immediate. I just laughed at them and I said, "Fuck you! This is too
Yep.
soon. You can't do this." Like as
Yep.
a
I
fan
was
though,
like, are you? It is too soon. Like after how you,
You can't just
I
try.
hate hypocrite.
You can't just try like rebooting the series in a roundabout way
fall
and then being like,
into like a hell pit and be like, oh,
yeah, you can't just like irrevocably fuck everything up. Try rebooting the series with brand new characters and being like, oh god, everyone hates this.
we're never using Shepard again. We're gonna leave Shepard like this.
We're now gonna.
Here's a new IP in the same series lore.
We're now.
Oh, we fucked this up. What do we do, guys? I got it. Let's go back to Shepard.
We're gonna do the Star Trek Search for Spock thing. That's what we're gonna fucking do. Yeah, no. As soon as I see some actual gameplay of Mass Effect 4-5 now, then I'll be interested.
Seeing that
probably.
trailer, you saw me freak out.
Yeah.
I was both like, just like.
Yeah, no, we were very confused and befuddled when we first saw that trailer. And then they're just like, fuck you, here's Liara. And
Yeah.
then we're just like,
How could you do this to me?
fuck you, BioWare. Why is that Liara?
You tempted for another year at the worst company in America? Like,
it is really funny though. Of like, if that clearly was like an EA trailer, just like make it happen. That's like. That was the, and to make this as remotely SMT related as possible, that was their Persona 5 announcement moment of, bro, you don't gotta announce this, but their morale was so low that they were like, the only way that, like, we could make this kind of work is just to announce it. But what was funny is, like, at the time, Atlus, as a developer, didn't have to. They had tons of projects. That was not a big deal. They were only having to do that because they literally just went bankrupt and Sega bought them. So, like, hey, guys, don't worry. We're gonna make them do something eventually. But yeah, like, if you work at BioWare, I more just feel bad for you. Like, that just sounds like such a, like, lose-lose situation. Like, whether you worked on Anthem, Mass Effect, or Dragon Age, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people excited, but the fact that out of a new Mass Effect, a new Dragon Age, or a remaster, the only thing people have faith in is you not fucking up your remaster that literally you probably should have released at the beginning of the PS4 generation, not the end of the PS4 generation. It's just so weird.
and well, like, how many teams do they even have now? I'm pretty sure they closed one down, didn't they?
No, they've merged a lot, but like they're still pretty big because, like, remember, they are still working on, even if it is just like support stuff, they are still working on SWTOR.
Oh god.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the future ever since Mass Effect 3 dropped has been like constantly playing with fire, I feel like, with them. So who knows?
I think the best way to describe it, Sad Gamer Show in the chat has I have a great comparison to this. A new Dragon Age game excites me as much as a new Air Bud movie would.
No.
See, I would love a new Airbud movie.
There's nowhere in the rules that says a dog can't bawl.
True.
Oh
damn.
man.
I also admit that I'm a gullible fuck, so like.
Well, I give you a password because you don't really love a lot of series.
True.
What do you mean? I look at all the shit that I bought.
Well, like in terms of
never,
hearing
okay.
you get in terms of ever in all the years I've known you, out of all the games I know that you like, I maybe can list the ones that you've been passionate about around me in less than two hands. Because it's just like, you play a lot of games the same way I do, but like, let's be honest, I use the term love with like, I'm like a whore for my games. Oh my god, I love Batman. I love the, like, I'll fucking say I even love MLB The Show. Like, I'll give the L word to anything.
True.
That's true.
Yeah, no.
But you're also just, I feel like it's also a matter of you're more expressive in front of people compared to me as well. Like my personality wise is I express a lot of myself through slight actions and more of just
buying merchandise.
Yeah, and just being surrounded.
When you're not playing 200 hours a week of Final Fantasy 14, you're loving life in the world of video games.
Oh, yep. I stopped playing 14 for a while ago, but I mean,
never a bad time to jump back in. Am I right, Square Enix?
True.
Yes, suck more out of the life that I don't have.
I love the life that I've lived with 14, which has literally been this. I played OG 14, which not a lot of people can say. I reviewed 14, A Realm Reborn, like OG ARR. Like, I played PS3 and then moved to PS4. And I've missed every expansion. And so I just can't wait for, like, one day I'll just slam through every expansion and be like, alright, that was fun.
At the very least, one day you should do Heaven's Sword. I can at least vouch for that.
Oh, no, like, I know I'd love them all. It's just one of those things of, like, literally 14 is such a commitment. I would have to either have to start my own fucking 14 podcast, which even I wouldn't want to do to justify it, or something else. It's just like, think of all the things I could do. Like, I gotta do a Yakuza marathon. I bought literally over the last month, like, every Bethesda game. So I gotta do a Doom playthrough. I gotta do a Wolfenstein playthrough. I gotta do a Dishonored playthrough. Like, all these games I just want to knock off that 14 would not allow.
Okay, if you're ever going to do a Yakuza binge, I have to tell you right now, just fucking skip 3.
No. See, I've been through them all. I just want to do a re-binge.
Oh, okay. So you already know how bad 3 is.
Well, yeah, but also, are you going off OG PS3 version, not the full 3 version?
I played the remaster.
The collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played off the collection.
I know story-wise it definitely is pretty weak, but it's just one of those things of, like, for me, especially once you've been through them once the first time, it's a lot easier just to kind of burn through them in terms of, I just want to experience it again.
Yeah, I can feel that. The Yakuza series has been great, though. I absolutely loved playing through it last year. And 7 to top it all off is just fantastic.
I was going to say, I am actually playing bits of Like a Dragon.
Just wait till you get that PS5. Just play the PS5 version.
No,
I don't. We're not like.
I actually didn't get as far as I would have liked to with 7 to the point where the PS5 version is out now, and I think I would rather replay because there's no save transfer because I guess fuck smart delivery on PlayStation, but I think at this point I might just kind of say F it and start over fresh again, because I'm sure I could slam through those first 5 chapters just to be able to play that game looking and running a little better.
See, we upgraded the PC, so I think if we're going to do anything more like next/current gen, it's going to be PC.
So you're never buying consoles again. Consoles are dead to you.
That's not what we said.
That's not true. Because we just think it's too early for a new console cycle already.
Well, good news. You can't buy one anyway, so you don't get to choose.
That's true.
True. Yeah, but they're gonna come out with the Pro version at some point in the next like 2 to 3 years, and then we'll be interested in buying one.
Plus, like, we're already drowning in unplayed games.
I mean, you guys just got the entire Kingdom Hearts series. Like, what else do you need?
Oh, for fuck that series. I'm relinquishing my fucking Kingdom Hearts card.
He's what is it? Vengeful about the series.
Was it because of 3 or prior events?
Prior events.
Okay.
Dream Drop Distance fucking sucks.
Oh, I love that game. That game is so good. That game is so unironically good. But I also I love do you guys ever have hot takes that in your head people don't call out as hot takes enough, and then the things you think are mild takes are what others assume are hot takes?
Yeah, I can kind of get that.
Devon, I know for a fact, probably has that.
I've had that happen recently, verbatim of a month ago maybe. I made a tweet saying I legitimately thought just the DLC alone for Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind was a better experience for me as a fan than Persona 5 Royal and 13 Sentinels combined. And that got, barely anything. Maybe a couple of friends giving me a what reaction. And then
yeah, no, if I saw that, I would have called you out on that.
And then literally, I made a tweet a week ago that was I think one new character from Persona 5 Strikers is better than one new character from Persona 5 Royal. And the entire internet was oh, I can't believe this bait. This is something remember, the better sign doesn't mean the other character is trash. This just means I like bearded cop dad better than redhead gymnast fatso. There's no top and bottom list. It was just so funny of I think even if I heard someone say, oh, I like Remind better than 13 Sentinels, I would still react. Not even in what's wrong with you way. That's just such a... I've never heard anyone else agree with me on that take, but it's just one of those weird things of, I know there were lots of problems with Kingdom Hearts 3, I know that DLC was not everyone's cup of tea, but for what I wanted, I thought that was the best fucking $30 DLC I've ever spent on Nomura just jerking off in front of me for 6 hours.
Okay, see, Spencer, if I fucking caught that on Twitter, I would have been that guy. I'd have fucking
you don't even like those 2 other games.
I actually really want to play Aegis Rim really bad. I just haven't had time to play it at all, so I haven't bought it. What was the other game? What was the other game you said?
P5R.
I played through P5R, and P5R's third semester as a whole is entirely better than Kingdom Hearts 3.
True, but Kingdom Hearts 3's DLC I can play from a menu. P5R's third semester I had to replay the entirely same game to get to.
You just go steal a save file from the internet.
Ew,
that's all you gotta do.
Yucky. This is the most internet I do.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I can understand that, but also fuck Kingdom Hearts. I'm sick of it.
Devin, I feel like 13 Sentinels would have been more of a you kind of vibe game more than Dylan.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's
because
true.
of the art style, or
no, more of just the characters and than anything. I'm also in the weird camp of I don't think 13 Sentinels. I think of 13 Sentinels more of a 2D adventure game, like a Telltale game, than a VN. Just because it's so interactive without being very choosy. It's when I look at character choices in RPGs, 9 out of 10 times, and especially a lot of big series like Persona, whatever the protagonist chooses fucking never matters. 99% of the time, it's do you like me, do you love me, or do you love me? It's they never matter. They're total just jerking you off BS or whatever. Whereas at least
I can be nice to you, I can be mad, or I can be mildly snarky.
Yeah, my favorite is when they because sometimes games will I'll have a different response from the voice actor responding to you depending on what you pick, and then you can always tell where they just gave up and they're what you said that let me tell you, they can't even be bothered to give that a unique response or whatever. But 13 Sentinels at least is I have a lot of problems with it in a weird sense of I'm probably the only person who played that game who likes it but actually criticizes it. That's one of those weird games of like it's still really niche-y popular, but it very, very rarely gets criticized, and I always kind of get frustrated by that because I hate when the narrative behind something is, this is a masterpiece. Like, whenever you guys see videos of, like, if I ever see a video, and I've even told friends who do this, if I ever see your video is blank is a masterpiece or blank is a disaster, I immediately just have clocked out of your video. Because it's
it's a bait.
Yeah, it's a big bait.
But no, then it sucks when, like, the video because the video is then in that tone. The video is, this is the best thing ever, or this is the worst thing ever, and we're not really going to talk about this. Whereas, like, my 13 Sentinels review was, like, almost an hour long of me talking about it in different aspects and stuff like that. But, like, it goes into all these, like, little things, like, I know, like, there's so many plot holes that are just so dumb, and they're only there, like, because, like, they thought they were doing a cool thing. But then, like, because, like, the way I always describe my criticism without spoiling 13 Sentinels... it's always this. If you think 13 Sentinels is the coming of Christ, or the, like, basically, if you think 13 Sentinels is, like, the sci-fi stories to end all sci-fi stories, because the way some people on Twitter make it seem, like, there's no game out there like it. Like, it is the most revolutionary next thing, like, ever out there. When, like, literally for me, I was like, oh, cool. So the guys who made this clearly liked Horizon Zero Dawn and Danganronpa. Like, that's literally the entire game's, like, plot twist. Is if you've played Horizon or Danganronpa, there you go. Spoilers for all of 13 Sentinels.
Perfect. That's what I love to hear. I love to hear something, like, just reviewed in very simple terms that I can just relate it to.
I'm always I'm always skeptical with anyone that is fully hard to lean on one end or the other, because that's just not something I like. I can't logically, like, come to that conclusion. Like, everything has its good and bad things. Like, there's obviously games that are my favorites, but I'm not gonna be sucking their dick or fanboying my panties are wet kind of thing about it. Like I said earlier, like, me and Dylan both really love Dragon Age Origins, but there's obviously some aspects about it that are, like, clearly
that aged poorly.
It did age really poorly. Yeah. Like, I feel like that's the biggest issue with it. And then I'm trying to think of a game that, like, is okay age-wise, but it's clearly got, like, other issues, but I still enjoy it. I guess you could say that about any Otome game. Like, they're like, graphics-wise, they can't really be outdated, but depending on which one it is, there's clearly some aspects about it that are not great.
Do you guys ever have, like, weird moments of, like, hearing someone bashing on something, and it's like, whether your points are valid, like, sometimes wondering, like, man, why are you, like, so passionate about something you, like, don't like? Because, like, I had a moment of, like, after Strike...
Isn't that just Twitter?
That's just Twitter.
That's just Twitter.
See, that's Twitter if you allow it to be, because, like, I literally, like, I filter out a lot of the BS. Okay. But, like, what's funny about it is, like, I had a moment when Strikers was out of... It kind of brought a lot of the P5 sucks crowd out, and if you ever notice... As much as people will give shit to P5 fans for loving it justifiably too much, which is kind of true. There is a large section of that fan base who literally love it way too much. But then you can say the same thing about the fans who hate it. And what I find so funny is a lot of those fans who say they hate P5, then either reviewing or checking out P5 Strikers, almost like it looks like they were doing it just to be like, look how much this sucks still. Like, do you like it? It's like, dude, what? That's like if I hated The Matrix and I reviewed The Matrix Reloaded. My opinion should matter very little, because guess what? I already don't like that world. Like, if you don't fucking like The Hobbit, you're not gonna fucking love the Battle of the Five Armies, dude.
Yeah, like, Twitter is... There's, like, two sections of, like, gaming Twitter, I want to say. And that's... you know what? Twitter as a whole, I'll say it. People just getting irreverently angry at something that they shouldn't care about because they hate it already. And people just making other people up to be mad at for things.
Yeah, I get that, because there are very... And I don't even mean this as, like, a fucking pat me on the back thing. I do not see a lot of accounts out there when it comes to covering whether it be specific franchises or series who can kind of be known as the like, oh yeah man, he really fucking gives it to him, or like, oh he's such a simp for this company or whatever. Because like, as much as I have ever fucking given praise or given shit to Atlus, it is always, hey, I call it as I see it or whatever, and it is just one of those like funny things of like, I don't know if that's, and I mean, and it's tough because like obviously people kind of make their personalities not really based off their real self, but like I guess it's easier just to be like, I love everything, here's all my positive videos, or like I hate everything, I'm gonna be negative about all this because I have to be, where it's like, I get it. I think one of the things you were kind of like getting at with Twitter is like, yeah, definitely there are a lot of situations on Twitter of, guess what, dude, I didn't need your opinion. It's like, and this is bringing way too many real life issues into it. I saw a dude I like don't really respect anymore, but I just follow him out of like, I'm too lazy to unfollow him anymore, and he's like a pretty prominent guy in like the games industry. When like all the stop anti like Asian hate or whatever like stuff was going on, his tweet was literally just this: hey guys, let's stop hurting Asian people. And that was it. And it was like, you're not wrong, but like you literally didn't have to say anything and it would have had as much effect as what you just posted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, unless it's constructive or links to like,
like a great example was like,
I don't really care.
Yeah, like a great example is like when like all the like trans stuff was like coming up last week because of like whatever like laws and stuff was going on, and people and there was that whole argument of like, guys, it's great you're saying like, hey, we see you trans people. Guess what? Fucking seeing them doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's like imagine if I just tweeted tomorrow morning, homeless people, I see you. You're invincible.
See, I'd personally be so angry about that.
I don't see that stuff as much on Twitter because I only just now recently started to be more frequent on Twitter, and also just my feed's not really like that politically charged.
If you keep it to just following who you want to, like I mentioned, I never see this shit. I only ever see it through friends complaining about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say I do see more of stuff like that on Instagram, like during the whole, all cops are bad.
Oh my god, like the like black profile picture thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
like,
look at what that all did, guys.
Let's do a blackout spot to like boost, black people's voices. I'm like, you're just clogging up the feed and the tag. How is that exposing like the people that need the
with Stop Asian Hate?
They tried to do it for the Stop Asian Hate too, and like more people at least fucking learned their lesson. So I didn't see it as much on Instagram, but still, like, y'all stop being sheep. Actually, like, fucking think: is this a good idea? Am I really helping people if I just post a block of color?
Can I tweet and change the world?
No, I love the idea that like there's those people out there who are like, dude, if I don't comment on this, I'm racist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the like invisible pressure to constantly be up to date and like think you're making a difference is ridiculous online.
I thank God I'm not like anywhere near big enough, and will definitely never be, that people like will like come to me and be like, what's your thought on Black Lives Matter? Like, what's your thought on like this and stuff? Of like, no offense, dude, I'm a fucking video game account. I really should be the last opinion that matters on anything. Yeah. And I'm also a fucking white dude in the middle of America. I have zero effect on anybody's life.
You mean fans asking influencers what their stances are on things, and like fans are people bashing influencers for not using their influence.
And not even that, but it's like cosplayers or like people who are like writers or like designers in games or voice actors. It's
some of those people are influencers and or a pillar within that community. I have literally seen cosplayers yell at other cosplayers that have more of a following for not taking a stance on shit.
Man, I'm just glad. I just like that we can all kind of come together about that, and like I don't actually like, I have friends who will comment on it, and like I would never call anyone out for commenting on it unless it is like that guy I mentioned before who like literally did the bare minimum tweet because he was like, oh god, I gotta say something. But like most of the time whenever I have friends who want to say something, it either comes from a place of like personal like reflection, or things like they feel like it affects them and they want to kind of vent it out. But it is at least nice that for the most part, outside of for the most part, like outside of all of my friends, like we have that kind of understanding of, like you mentioned, Devin, like it's not just us all kind of like following the herd. Like yes, the vocal people on there are acting like this, but like you always have to remember, and I say this like all the time to people in this community as well, especially like SMT and Persona. Guys, if there's an aspect of this community you hate, you have to remember that is the vocal minority.
Yeah.
Literally,
Exactly.
the other 90% all are fucking normal people out there. They're just not going out of their way to talk to you.
Yeah, like fucking I swear there's always something that comes up, and like, and I don't just mean like for one specific community. I just feel like it rotates. Like one week it'll be this one fandom of anime. The next week it'll be something about cosplay. Then the next week it's some game like haha. Just right now, Genshin. So,
like literally, I hate that like I had this moment happen, especially when like the Asian American like hate thing was going on, where I like was talking to Mary about this in bed, and I was like, you know what's really fucked up about this whole thing is that like this is such a literally 2020 issue we're now getting to in 2021, but like we're gonna be over it in a week. And not even like we're not over it because it's fixed. We're literally over it because we'd rather talk about another shooting or something else. Where it's like nothing gets fixed. So like why even like waste your why even like waste your effort? Like so like even for the way tinier stuff by like going back to fandoms, it's like whether it be the Genshin thing or just like God, if I very rarely see this, but like when I see people like share stuff to me of like someone making a post being like, God, Persona fans are the worst, and I'm like, cool, like why talk about them then? Like it's just like I'm like I don't give a shit what like James Charles is done this week outside of I'll look at it and laugh at it, but like outside of that I'm not gonna give an opinion on it whether I think it's like in the right or wrong, because it's like if something's really bad, you know, it's a great way to like make sure it doesn't happen again, not boosting its signal up more.
Ranting and all is fine, but
everyone on the internet just wants to be mad at something and feel validated, and that's a problem.
I feel like there are a lot of lines that are just people don't know they're there anymore, and it's just a cycle, and it makes it just worse. I'm all about like if something I say I know is going to like, if it's directly to someone or on someone else's stuff that I know is in like a negative context, I'm not gonna bring it up. Like, what's the point? I'm just gonna end up having a bad day at the end of it.
Yeah, and it's like the amount of mental energy it would take to block out just stupid drama BS like that is so insufficient when you think about how easy it would be just to be like, oh man, like I want to like share this like dumb meme I made that I think is funny, or like, oh man, like I want to like, it's like doing something more positive. I promise you will always be easier on you mentally than engaging in any of the like group bashing you see online that is always going to seem more way prevalent, but then just goes back to the whole thing of it is just group mentality because it is the vocal minority, not majority.
Yeah, like
Super Gamer Guy bring up a great point. It's always also a thing of it's because people keep giving it attention. It's only a problem because people talk about like no one's ever have like, not saying that no one has it. Very few people have the talk we're having now. Most people have the quicker conversation of I'm gonna join in on the blank is toxic or blank is bad conversation.
Yes,
Yeah.
the quick. I need to indulge this information as quickly and as fast as possible and give my opinion out on it,
Yeah,
even if I don't know like literally anything.
I'm just gonna quote tweet this by feel and see where it goes.
Yeah. Like I'm all for like using your Twitter, your personal Twitter to rant if you need to chill, if you can't find anyone to like listen to. But where it gets bad is the fact that unless your account is private, there is always that one tiny chance someone's gonna see it, blow their fucking cap, and they have a lot of people following them and make it a big goddamn deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't wait for the day that I get canceled, but that's so far away. Before we finish this podcast, guys, let's try and end on a little bit of a less Twittery related topic. We're all going to pick one game, or it could just be show or movie, or one thing we are looking forward to in the near future and why. I will let either one of you guys start.
You look like you're ready. Go ahead.
I actually am 100% ready. The big thing I want to shout out is, if you have not read it yet, Chainsaw Man is insanely good, and it's getting an animation made by Mappa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Is Mappa the people who are now doing AOT or were doing AOT?
They are currently doing Attack on Titan, and they also just finished up doing Jujutsu Kaisen as well.
Okay.
So first off, Chainsaw Man is an insanely good read and a quick read at only 80 chapters.
It's like, I think Volume 4 just came out?
Something like that, yeah.
It's still very early. It's not like recommending Berserk or One Piece.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a super quick read and it's a super good read, and I highly recommend it.
We actually have a lot of people who are into Chainsaw Man, so you're not alone there. That's like one I am always glad to see like more talk for, but like it's not. I hope it's one of those things like it's like Beastars, where like I never heard people in the mainstream talk about it until it had an anime, and now everybody is, well, not everybody, but like it's a lot more mainstream. Like I wasn't seeing Zootopia Beastar memes before the anime, if you know what I
mean. Very true, yeah. But yeah, Chainsaw Man's probably gonna get the actual like same treatment once it gets its first trailer and everything.
Now, Dylan, how mad will you be if we then get a equivalent of the One Punch Man fighting game as Chainsaw Man fighting game?
That's probably not gonna happen.
Wait, One Punch Man had a fighting game?
It did. It was so bad. It came out last year, like right before the pandemic, and it is literally like one of the worst 3D anime brawlers I've ever played.
It just died immediately on release, and it fucking sucks.
Like, the only ones I knew about was the Hero Aka and the Kill la Kill one.
The Kill la Kill one actually has like some minor interesting like aspects to it.
Kill la Kill's only claim to fame is because it is published by Arc, and they got then people got tricked into thinking it was made by Arc.
No, it actually does have like some viable like.
Well, no, I'm not saying anything against the game. I'm saying I feel like all of the goodwill it got before release was because people were like, "Oh my god, it's by Arc! It's by Arc, guys!"
Yeah,
like, it was not really by Arc.
I can agree with that. Though I think, if I recall, the same company who did it also did like the Dragon Ball like 3DS like Butoden game or some shit like that, and people enjoyed that. So you know, I might be wrong on that, but I can't.
No, it's okay. No one's gonna fact check us on anime games.
Yeah, no one's gonna fact check a 3DS fucking Dragon Ball game.
Dev, what about you? What's one thing you're looking forward to?
One thing? Oh, I was gonna say two, but
yeah, you can do two. You can do two.
Okay. Well, the game I'm looking forward to is Busta Fellows. It's an Otome game, so.
Why does that sound familiar? Did that like get announced at the New Game Plus Expo thingy?
I don't know. I mean, it's by P-Cube.
Well, it's published by P-Cube.
Published, yeah. They had a limited edition, so I snatched that up.
Tell me how to spell it again. It's Busta Fellows?
Bust A Fellows.
Okay, keep going.
It's about from what I understand, the protag witnesses a death, and she actually goes backwards in time to try and to prevent it in someone else's body, I think. And so you're playing detective while also romancing guys.
I like the art style. It's very vibrant, and I also enjoy how it is just one word in the title treatment. It is literally no space, Bustafos.
Yeah, like it seems a bit more up my alley because I usually like the more like a little bit closer to our kind of reality kind of thing, like compared to some of the other otames that are really like fluffy and not kind of gritty at all, or the locations are like obviously fantasy.
So there's no like busting asses though in this game, right?
I'm pretty sure there's like mafia.
Do you bust asses
stuff
too?
involved?
Oh, I don't know. I hope so.
I don't know. I'm hoping it's a little bit more gritty than Pio Fiore, or at least the pro tag is not a church girl. But
I had a weird like VN problem of like I just got in, and I'm super gonna fuck its name up, that Yasu Yune Matsu something. It's the Yuri visual novel. It's on like PS4, Switch, and Vita, but like I just got the Vita ones in, and they're like stupid expensive, but even like the digital ones are. But it was another like Yuri VN, and like someone like came to me and was like, "Where are just these straight like BL VNs?" And I was like, I think like out of all the VNs we got in America, we never got any like in terms of like big retail release BL games. There's Yuri, Otome, but there's no BL.
You know, you're right, and now that kind of makes sense why a lot of Fujoshis are very angry and aggressive on Twitter, especially with Genshin.
So, by the way, because I hate anyone ever possibly correcting me, so the developer of Kill la Kill If, ironically has worked with Arc Systems a lot before. They did not do that Dragon Ball 3DS fighting game. They did the Little Witch Academia game that nobody remembers.
Yeah, that's what it
They also
was.
did River City Rival Showdown. They did River City Tokyo Rumble, and two weird ones for me on Vita. They did the Damascus Gear mecha games on Vita, and they also did AW Phoenix Festa based off the Asterix War anime, and the only reason I will ever remember that game is because I remember that game got announced. It's a Vita exclusive, like, little arena fighter. It got announced at an AX for a Western release. It was my first Asian import Vita game, and that game, no joke, now goes for like $2,000. And I bought that, and I bought that new for like $35.
Yeah, that's money to sell for.
So what is your number 2 then?
Obviously Stone Ocean.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah, that's like a get hype, but we have like no idea when its episode comes out, right?
It's probably another year or two.
Yeah,
but
it's probably going to be like either at the end of this year or very early next year.
Am I cynical, or like, why was that a big deal that got announced? Like, wasn't that obvious that was happening?
Okay. The reason why there was some doubt is, they could have announced another Rohan OVA because, you know, hard-ons for Rohan and self-insert. And then they could have gone and done an OVA and or movie for Purple Haze Feedback instead.
True. I will say this last thing about JoJo probably in this episode. I cannot believe that we had a JoJo game renaissance literally right before JoJo's actually blew up, and the fact that there have been no real games is very sad.
Oh my god, right?
Like, literally, if the last game we'd ever gotten was All-Star Battle, that'd be fine at least, because that's at least fun, but Eyes of Heaven is seriously trash, and CyberConnect should be ashamed of it.
True. There is a second thing I want to shout out to. I'm so sorry. But it's in line of a game release. And shit getting announced. Can you guess what it is, Spencer?
The new character in Genshin Impact.
Fuck that. No, new Melty Blood, motherfucker.
That's true. You know what? If Melty Blood can have a better update after 9 million years, Virtual Fighter should be double ashamed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're gonna bring that up, but you're not gonna bring up Tsukihime?
Oh yeah, the Tsukihime remake is also happening. I forgot about the end itself. Plus, I don't usually do that too much. Fuck off! I'm not that big into it.
For shame.
But yeah, Tsukihime remake is also officially a thing.
Okay. I'm going to get two as well because we're all very bad at limiting ourselves. My first one's a quickie, and Dev can actually back me up. So next week actually worldwide, so no matter where you live, this will be out. The House and Fata Morgana is now going to be on Switch. So if you hate playing good versions of games with trophies, you can now play the worst versions of games without trophies. But the House and Fata Morgana, I've talked about it a bajillion times. It's
so good.
It's one of the best looking, sounding, and written visual novels of all time. It is hilariously unpopular. Like, not that people play it and don't like it, it's just, I can't believe, like, this isn't, like it's like, if you've played it, it's like one of the best VNs of all time, but I'm always amazed how many people I have to tell about it who have never heard of it.
You know why it's not popular?
Because it got a small release?
No, it's because it's not appealing to otakus.
I guess like for me, like, man, like the best part about that is I can't even tell people why I love it, because it's one of those like VNs that you have to go in knowing nothing about it.
It sneaks up on you, man. Like,
multiple times. And the best part about it is, like, it's literally probably the longest visual novel I've ever played, because that version that we have in English is everything that entire series has bundled up in one.
Damn.
Yeah, because of all the extra stuff you can select on it. I figured that it had been pieced together from other things.
I really, for shits and giggles, want to get the original Japanese version, because Japan originally got the version we got, but it actually has worse textures. The art got redone for the American version, so it could actually work in 4K. So, like, I want to just get it just for, like, comparison's sake, but then, like, the other part of it, which would be interesting, is there is a 3DS port of that game, and it was digital only, and I would love to see how absolutely terrible it was.
Oof.
But yeah, the other thing I want to recommend, or at least say that I am excited about, we are, like, I could lick it. It's that close. The heels of Lady Dimitrescu is so close to stepping on us. Resident Evil 8, man. Just think about it, because, like, I even forgot about this. We got another demo coming.
When is that coming out?
Next month.
Next
month. Oh, what?
Next month. Get those Best Buy Steelbook pre-orders in, ladies and gentlemen.
I might have to.
What?
Did you see that there is a 9.5-foot tall standee in China for that game?
What?
Like, you know how, like, there'll be, like, the sports cutout of, like, here's LeBron James's real height. It's like a little cardboard cutout. They made those for convenience stores in Asia. Of, like, a life-size, like, Lady Dimitrescu.
Man, I haven't seen it yet. But on Twitter, someone was like, someone needs to draw Lady Dimitrescu fucking blocking Shaq.
See, you blocked, you spaced fucking and block just enough that I got really scared when you said fucking and then Shaq afterwards.
Well, I mean, that's also totally plausible, too, at this point, because of fucking Twitter. But yeah, no, I haven't seen the art for this yet. But god damn it, now that someone said it, it's got to be out there somewhere.
I just hope that she can be in Space Jam as one of the
no.
as just one of the people.
Have you seen that trailer?
I have thoughts. I've just got thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? This is the lowest I love our viewership didn't decrease during the politics talk. Our viewership didn't decrease during the Mass Effect talk. Space Jam is when we're starting to lose them. So I think it's now time for us to end the show. So Dylan and Devon, where can people find you online? Plug your stuff, please.
Devon, you first.
I am on Twitter at Lavinark. Is it dot or underscore?
Underscore dudes.
Underscore dudes. That's LAVINARK underscore doot. And then Instagram is just Lavinark. And that's really where I'm social at right now.
Yep. And you can find me on Twitter 95% of the time at ARXFGC. That's at ARXFGC.
Okay, so for me, I'll be much longer because I'm very obnoxious and also have to include myself as the podcast. So you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Torchwood4SP. My personal account is that one. If you'd like, you can follow the podcast at SMT Network. You can find my YouTube channel where you're either watching this live or just watching my weird little weekly editorials. That's just by searching my name, Spencer Presley, in the show notes below, or searching Shin Megami Tensei Network. You'll find it that way. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that fun stuff. There's a there's a Facebook group. You can go to facebook.com/groups/SMT Network for a group. There's also a page if you have a fear of commitment. I won't blame you. There is also a Patreon. If you would like to support all of this garbage that I do somehow on a weekly basis, you can go to patreon.com/SMTN and donate whatever you feel is comfortable. Thank you to all the awesome patrons out there who help make whatever this is, but I promise it'll be a lot more plain next week. But God, let me tell you, it's been a week. So Dylan and Devon, I appreciate you all so much for coming on last second to talking about everything that's not Atlus related news.
No problem. I mean, it's been a while since we've talked, so it was good to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a great time being on the podcast today.
And anyone watching live, thank you for letting me catfish you all into thinking we were talking about Atlus news. Joke's on you, the store news was the only real news. Well, besides that, we all have to say goodbye now. Half because it is getting late, and the other half because my wife is very excited to come in here and tell me who she pulled in Genshin Impact. So goodbye, everybody.
Oh.
Goodbye. That's when you guys have to say goodbye, not
Oh, sorry about that. I was
Sorry, you said Genshin.
Yeah, you said Genshin. My brain went immediately to gacha character pulls, so I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Who's the poll gonna be? You gotta think. She's freaking out. I heard her like basically peeing her pants in the other room. So you gotta think. Who could this be?
Child.
It's
Child. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what it is. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay,
Goodbye, everyone.
Okay.